Hey y'all, welcome to Control Your Money. We're back with another Mommy and Me chat. My name is Amber,
And I am Pam.
and we are at, gotta show y'all our scenery for today. We are literally in a horse and carriage. My mom suggested this park, which is Griffin Park in North Miami. We were nearby having breakfast, and they have the park set up for the holidays. And we did not even see this horse and carriage. We tried to sit somewhere else, and it was just too bright and sunny. We didn't even see this until we sat there and we're trying to find somewhere else to sit. This is the Veterans Tribute Tower. Okay, and I mean, it is a beautiful day in the city of North Miami, but we are literally in a horse and carriage. This is just so neat. So we were nearby having breakfast. She suggested we come to this park to do our Mommy and Me money chat. And today's topic is
Choice.
choice, deciding to change. Earlier this week, I was at a presentation, and change is a choice was stated by the presenter. And it was interesting when we were having breakfast, we were talking about different things, and my mom was talking about choices. And I said, you know what, let's just go ahead and go with that topic for today. So, change is a choice, deciding to change. As a child, I observed what I saw going on around me, not just with my mom, but with adults in my community in general. And I said, there has to be a better way. I think I posted a clip in a previous video of a billionaire, Melody Hobson, and she was saying basically the exact same thing. As a small child, those were her thoughts, and that's why she decided to make the changes and engage in the behaviors that she chose to, so that she could change, her financial future based on what she had been observing. And I was talking about that with my mom today, and I want her to give a little bit of perspective on why she chose to make changes in her financial lifestyle and what that means for legacy as a whole.
I chose to change because I actually needed to change, and that's something that sometimes we fail to acknowledge uh, a need to change. And change is not always easy, it's sometimes difficult because you really have to change your mindset uh, a lot. And so I chose that so that I could give my child a better future, um, make myself more prosperous, and to leave a legacy. She mentioned legacy, and that's important because a lot of times, especially for our race, we don't have a lot of inheritance left behind for us to build off of, whereas other people do. So they start off on a better foundation. We start off struggling,
Mm,
pretty much.
yeah.
And if we don't change our mindsets, our future generations are going to do the same. So that was sort of like an impetus for me understanding what I needed to do to be more financially stable, take some of the stress off, which it took a lot of stress off, and to be able to just do what I want to do with my money as long as I am budgeting it right. I was budgeting without really realizing it. Every month doing monthly bills, choosing to do that, um, even keeping it in my head, it's not necessarily that it has to be structured, but it's better to be structured because that way you know exactly where everything is going. Because even without budgeting, I was still at a free fall, so to speak. Just thinking, well, I got the money to do whatever I want to do,
Mm.
and sometimes you can overdo it. So that was what really got me started.
So, yes, for me, just like she said, that foundation, I said somebody has to figure this out. Somebody has to figure it out. Like she said, in our culture, we don't end up with a foundation. Everybody has to figure it out for themselves. And we have to be able to change that. We have to be able to figure this out. We have to be able to figure it out so that we can teach it, to the other generations. And that's why, part of what we wanted to do this topic for is at some point you got to change. The definition of insanity, everybody knows, is to keep doing the same thing over and over. And that even means from generation to generation. And we know that people are giving their next generation a leg up. That's just been, over the course of history. How can we get to that point? And there are lots of us that are doing it. So my mom and I are doing our part for our community. And I think if everybody does a little bit, we all know a little bit adds up to a lot. So we're going to continue to do our part because we have to change. There needs to be change. We've made progress, but we need more progress. And money isn't everything, but there's a lot you can do with money. Namely, for me, reduce stress. We carry so much stress in our DNA and our bloodlines. And if we can at least lessen that, there's a lot of other things that we have to deal with. But if we can at least get to the point where we can lessen the financial strain, I think we can start to definitely make a little more progress and give
Hope and encouragement and some strategy on how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be overcome. But it takes a choice. You have to make that choice.
Mm-hmm. So in all, change is a choice. Decide to change. Until next time.
Control your money.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what? We're gonna go back to it.
Look, Mama.
This is so nice.
It is.
Go out there and take a picture. Oh, but then you have to climb up and down. I don't want no slip and falls here.
I cannot believe we sit in a horse and carriage.
This was Santa be on.